Welcome back, everybody, to the Search Show 24/7, and this is the season 8 premiere of Supernatural entitled "We Need to Talk About Kevin." So, since they need to talk about Kevin, let us talk about Kevin. So, you know what, guys, let's go. All right, guys. Now, before we start off, this is Taylor. This is not my child. This is my little sister's kid. I am babysitting right now because my sister's not here. So hopefully we can get through this real smoothly. Can we get through Supernatural smoothly? Can we get through it smoothly? She likes Supernatural. So now season 8. We need to talk about Kevin now. Dean has just got back from purgatory. He's been transmitted back to Earth from purgatory because after we left off, after we left season 7, Crowley put him in purgatory. So and it was weird coming back into it because you think. Coming back into the season, you're gonna start off with like Dean still in purgatory, but no, this takes place a year later, and Dean is out of purgatory now. So I thought that was a weird thing, but I don't know if I really liked it that much. Just I wish I could have just saw more of it, but as this episode went along, I see that they're kind of telling it like backwards a little bit. They're telling in flashbacks and stuff. So hopefully that works out. So I'm excited to see that. But Dean is back from purgatory, and he goes to find Sam, and he finds out that Sam hasn't really been looking for Dean like for this whole year that Dean's been gone. He's kind of moved on. He's kind of just lived his life, and he's just kind of just left the hunting life, behind him, and that doesn't really sit too well with Dean. And I always like that dynamic with them because usually you see Dean, he's always the more energetic one and just all lovey-dovey, and he's the funny one. But in this episode, he's back from purgatory, and you can tell that he's a changed guy. He's very changed. He's very just hostile and just very like angry and just upset and just stuff, and he really doesn't appreciate that Sam didn't really look for him because they had this spoken rule that if we die or if one of us dies that we can just move on. But like Dean pointed out, like we never followed that damn rule anyway, so why would you start now? So you have both sides, and either you're on the side of Dean or you're on the side of Sam, because when you kind of look at it, you can understand both sides when they talk about it, because Dean's like, come on now, we're brothers, you're supposed to be looking for me like I looked for you and shit like that, you know what I mean? And Sam's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like everybody from my family, everybody I ever cared about died and stuff, so I wanted to move on and just forget that life. So I really understood both sides, and it was just hard for me to choose sides. But at the end of the day, come on, guys, you always got to go with Dean. You always got to go. I'm sorry, Sam, all the Sam fans, I'm sorry, but come on now, it's Dean. Now, the story kind of takes place, and the story is really about, Kevin. And Kevin was, the little Asian kid from last season who was the prophet. Who he was the prophet. He was the chosen one. He knows how to read like the tablets, the word of God, the tablets and stuff. So everybody was looking for this kid, and Crowley ends up taking him in season 7, and now Sam and Dean are on the hunt looking for Kevin, because while while Dean was in purgatory and Sam was out just living his life and moving on, Kevin was trying to contact Sam, and Sam he was moving on, so he kind of cut ties with everything, and it was kind of his fault that Kevin got lost and stuff. So now Sam and Dean are going back and trying to find Kevin. Okay, so Sam and Dean, they end up finding Kevin, and they find Kevin. He's been doing all right on his own. He's been doing all right for these this past year. They find out that he escaped Crowley. They find out that it's more tablets, more than one tablet with the word of God and stuff on it. So, and they find out just a lot of just stuff from Kevin, that Kevin knows how to kill, or not really kill the demons, but he knows how to send all the demons back to hell and just close the gates of hell forever. So there'll be no more demons on the earth, and they can just stay in hell forever. So this is like really good news for Sam and Dean, and this can like just help their lives out, and this can just cut ties with just all these fucking demons that have just been ruining their lives just for like ever, because these demons have just been part of their lives like since day one, and just everywhere they go, these demons like kill their family members, just loved ones and stuff. So this is like a pretty big deal to Sam. And I think the most interesting thing about this episode were the stuff with Dean. And Dean is my favorite character anyway. But and I like Sam. Don't get me wrong, I like Sam, but Dean, he is the man. And a lot of the stuff that I liked about this episode happened to do with Dean, and pertaining to Dean, like the stuff when they was in purgatory. Like for some reason, I just like the way like it was shot. Like purgatory, like I love the way purgatory was shot, and it kind of had like this dim, like gritty look to it. And when you see like Dean and kind of like the shadows in purgatory, and you see like the blood kind of dripping down his ear and stuff, and it's just real dark and with the shadows and the highlights and stuff. Like it was just really amazing to me, and I saw it on the HD TV too, so it was just really good, and I loved all that stuff. Another thing that I liked about this episode was like the mysterious guy with Dean. I think he was like a Leviathan from purgatory, or he was a demon. And I just like, just kind of his the way he talked, and just the way he kind of acted towards Dean, and just kind of his like whole demeanor. So I want to see a lot more of him, because he seems like he has like a very like rich story, and he's like a very rich character. So, and you can never tell, like, is he has he like given up like the bad, and is he kind of good now, or is he playing Dean, or does he have like a bigger plan? So I want to see more of that story, just come up, in this season. And another thing that they kind of touched on this episode was Castiel, and I love Castiel. He's like probably my second favorite character. So I just want to know what happened while he was in purgatory, like how he died or what happened, because I think Dean knows a lot more than he's given Sam. So I just want to know a lot more on what happened to Cass, and because pretty damn soon he's got to be popping up somewhere, because it's hard to kill Cass. So I have a feeling like we'll see him soon in this series, or in this season. So I just want to see more about that story with Cass. So everything like in Purgatory, I like to see more of that flashback, and hopefully we get to see more. And I like I liked Sam's kind of backstory and what he was doing like in the year, with the dog, and the girlfriend that he had, and the nurse. I think the nurse who was nursing the dog and stuff, I think he that might be the girl he was talking about to Dean. So I just want to see what Sam was up to, and why he chose to leave, like what made this girl so special, because I had to be something big for him to just kind of give up hunting for a year and stuff, and kind of just move on. So she must be a very special girl to Dean. So I want to see more of that. Hopefully we get to see more. Overall, I thought this season premiere was good. It wasn't my favorite season premiere, but it had a lot of good stuff to it. I probably give it like a 8. Overall, it was pretty decent. I liked it. So please like this video, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought. Let's talk about this episode, guys. This is my first Supernatural review. I will be doing more, and it will be better quality, because I am moving in next week, and I will have a co-host. So, and the baby won't be here, so I gotta get you in as many videos as I can. I got to get you as many videos as I can before I leave. So yeah, let's just talk about everything. So please like this video just for her. Just for her, all right? You look at this face. Look at this. Look at this face. Just like her for that, all right? Just like me for that. Subscribe to me, please. But as always, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. I can't really do it because I got her, but be easy. Be easy.